Spike. So looking out your camera through your window, bro, the weather looks devastating. But it's not at all.
Alright, thought I would just make this video. Woke up, it's probably about 11 o'clock on the second day of the hunt inside my Kodiak tent. I don't know how well you can hear this because we've got some serious wind going on right now. I wanted to just show, hopefully the Kodiak tent is up to it. So far it has survived. I actually woke up and double staked it at one point because the wind was coming in. I think it's about, according to my thing here, I don't know if you can see that. If it'll zoom in on that. Now you can't, but it says it's about, oh, yep, there you go, 30 degrees, which is really not that cold. But yeah, it is windy. I don't know. I mean, I can't really estimate gusts, but it's got to be as windy as Nevada gets. 20-mile-an-hour gusts. One cool thing is the floor. That's what really got me worried was the floor. You can see the air going underneath it, and I was like, "Holy shit! It's gonna pick this tent up." I don't know how well you can see the flex of the tent there, but yeah, we got some wind tonight. It's 11 o'clock, so this sucks because obviously you want to go to bed. Last time I went out it was snowing, which was a lot of fun. You can see that table shaking. Yeah, good times up here, which is actually really cool. I just hope this tent holds up because holy shit, this is some intense wind. I don't know if I've ever been out with wind like this. Well, at least with a tent this big, and that's probably part of it, is that, the downside to a tent like this is it's like a sail. So we took one of our other camp tents down because, fear that it was going to get collapsed. But yeah, this one seems to be so far so good. I don't want to jinx myself. I'm waiting to hear something really bad. Yeah. So there it is. This might be part of the Kodiak tent review at some point. So far, loving this tent. This thing is pretty epic. It's good. Yeah, this is putting it through its paces. So good job so far. We'll see. See my boots moving there, rocking like there's a freaking earthquake. So far so good. So we'll see how it ends up.
Alright, so I don't know if you can hear me or how much you can even see. But there's a sad truth to what you're looking at right now. This is the inside of my tent. So that pretty much sucks. I'm a little bit lost right now and I have no idea what I'm going to do. But right now I'm going to go raid Storman's tent. Man, this sucks. Last night, 3 of the 4 tents that our camp has collapsed. This morning, 2 of the 4 people in our hunting group are now gone. They just went back into town. My tent is completely full of snow. There's more snow inside my tent than there is outside my tent, which is kind of weird. I came in here what time last night? 2 o'clock in the morning. So let me tell you the story about my tent. Covered up, completely covered up. I don't feel any wind. I can just hear it and my tent shaking. And before I had gone to bed, I had noticed it had started snowing a little bit, and that started clicking in my head. And I kind of was like, oh, I wonder what the condition of my tent is. And I just kind of slipped one arm out my tent and down on the ground to see if it was wet. And it wasn't wet, which was a good thing. But the bad thing was it pushed through 2 inches of snow before I hit the bottom. So I kind of panicked a little bit. I woke up and it was like a winter wonderland inside my tent. So I got dressed, I jetted over here. Actually, I stood in my tent for probably 15 minutes trying to figure out, should I take anything with me? Should I leave it? Is it going to be here tomorrow? I ended up coming back here. Troy knocked some sense into me. I got my sleeping bag, and then we went to bed. And then at 6 o'clock in the morning, Buddy and Kat did the exact same thing that I did, because now their tent is full of snow. They're gone now. We've restaked the tent that we're in. This is Troy's tent. We've relocated the FJ Cruiser to try to block some wind. We staked down the trailer because that was all cattywampus this morning. We salvaged some good stuff. We've got the Buddy heater. We have the Dynaglow heater. We've got my Primus stove. Troy's got a stove some here, so we're good to go for heat, pending the wind doesn't tear us that way.
That's really all I have to add, other than the Kodiak tent rocks. I don't know if it's going to make it, but so far it's held up. It's looking pretty freaking sad right now. It's got a lot of bowing, but well, hopefully it's going to make it. But it's been watertight so far. It's kept us safe. Everybody was in my tent. Everybody else's tents collapsed, so thumbs up on that. Kodiak sent me a new tent. That'd be awesome, because this one I think is destroyed. Well, at least it's definitely worn. This is the first time it's ever been staked, but it's looking pretty rad.
It's just starting to really, I don't know how well you can see that, but its head's starting to sag, but it's just like under constant wind. That's what it is, I think, today. That's the difference, is that last night I think we were getting gusts that were pretty severe, but today it just seems to be a constant, like 20 mile an hour, probably with gusts of like 30. I don't know, we should do a video outside in the tundra.
We will, because I want to go show the camp, or what's left of it. It is Tuesday morning now. It is 8:20 on the dot. I lost the bet. We all took wagers at the campfire the other night, the night we were going to get an elk. And I said we were going to bag it Tuesday morning. Here's why we didn't. We had a crazy windstorm. You've already seen a video of that. So Buddy and Kat left. They're not even here right now. They're on their way back from Wells. They stayed at a hotel. Troy and I waited it out. We just have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear here that we didn't want to just kind of abandon. So I'm going to take you through my living quarters. That is what was my tent. So basically what happened to my tent is, this is totally a summer tent. Let me see if I can get you to... You can see inside. My tent is mesh, basically. So about 3 feet from the ground is actually tent material, and the rest of it is mesh. And I tied the rainfly down as best I could, and the wind was just too much for it. So actually on two sides of my tent, the mesh had lifted up towards the roof, and that's what you saw from the inside of my tent, is basically the snow was just the wind was blowing so hard and the snow was just coming through. This is an old school canvas tent. It held up really well on the outside, but if you look down here, there is no floor. So get ready to enter this destruction. We'll try to put some light in here. Oh my. Oh. So this was the Destruction Day Buddy's tent. And we had to come in here and ransack it to get some sensitive items out that Buddy had notified us about, but how do you live like that? So that's a no-go. That thing's just completely covered in snow. Snow on the bottom. So that's, yep, that was a no-go.
There is the salvation in the storm over there.
The last man.
Which is what is the awesomest tent ever, that Kodiak canvas tent. And it has held up really well. So that's all we have left basically for shelter. Just Matt and I are out here. We'll see when Buddy and my mom get back to see what their plan is as far as continuing on. But yeah, it was a very humbling experience. Definitely coming out here, setting up in the way we would for October, never having experienced winds of that nature. And we didn't clock them, but I know surrounding areas that are at lower elevations were reporting, 33 to 40 mile an hour gusts and sustained like 20s, which was just more than this camp could. And especially when you look at some of the tents that were out here, there was just no way those tents were going to survive. But it's a cool place to wake up to, and always lessons learned. You know, you this camping trip is to prepare for the next camping trip, and that's how, you know, I got to where I'm at. Just trying to think of that worst case scenario. So cool. All right. Well.